Hi there, Nicola, Grace the Mission Mentor here again, and welcome to episode 3 of the Mission Mojo Show. If you've come in from the other link, it went a bit strange. We've had some technical issues, but we're here and we're going to download the information on how do you get the money that you need when you need it. It's all about money and alignment, doing all the things that you need to do to get that alignment. I'm just going to grab my notes here for what we're going to do. Because I've come in through a different way with Facebook here, we had a bit of an issue, technical issue there. I'm not able to put the agendas up. I'll have to do that on the recorded version. So, excuse me if I look at my notes. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today in the live stream on how do you get the money that you want when you want it is why don't you already know the answer to that? And there's a couple of reasons why that could be. Then I'm going to give you my formula for moving through that and getting to that state of entrepreneurship, of where you can just have an idea, have a desire, know what you need financially, and then know how to get it. What are the steps that you take to get it? So very, very valuable live stream today, very important for you. So thank you for being here. I'd love for you to say hi. I'm just going to say hi in the comment section here. Hello there. Let me know you're there, and if you've got any questions as we go. So first of all, let me talk about why you don't already know how to bring money in when you want it. Now, everybody, I think, is able to do it at some stage and at some level. So if I was to say to you, hey, you need $1 to do this, would you be able to come up with an idea on how to get that dollar? Most people would say yes. What if I said $10? You need an extra $10 over and above what you've got. Would you know what to do to get that extra $10? Right? Most people would probably say yes. What about, because you just go without 2 cups of coffee for the week, right? Or you go without a meal and there's your $10. But what if I say $100? You've got something that costs $100, and do you know how to go out and create something or do something to get that $100 so you can have what you want and you can do what you want, right? Most people, again, would say yes, they would know how to do it, especially business owners. But if you start saying no, it would be a challenge for me to get that $100, then something's missing in the connection in your brain to your divine resourcefulness, to your divine ideas. It's not firing up, and that needs to be fired up if you want to succeed in business, because you have to make money every week, right? And $100 is a very small amount to manifest. Same for $1,000 in business. If you're not able to get your hands on $1,000 without going into debt, if you can't just go out and create an idea or sell something or come up with an idea on how to get that $1,000, again, something's not firing up in the brain. Like, you don't have an entrepreneurial mind just yet, and the brain isn't a business brain, because the creativity, the connection to your creativity and getting those ideas hasn't fired off. And we need it firing off, right? And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to do that as we go through. So what about $10,000? If you wanted to do something, you wanted to buy a premium coaching program because you knew you were going to get ahead further by doing that, or if you wanted to put a deposit on a boat or get a new car or what have you, would you know how to create the money or get the idea off the ground to create the money so you didn't go into debt? So wherever it is that you cap off, like if you can very easily manifest $100 but $1,000 is difficult, or $1,000 is very easy to manifest but 10,000 is a bit difficult, or 100,000 or a million, where you cap off, that's where the block is on your entrepreneurship, on your entrepreneurial mind, on your business brain, on your ability to create. So that's one of the reasons why you don't know what to do. So you'll see what you want and you'll go, oh, I really want to get the money, and I'm just going to throw it out there to the universe for it to come back to me, which is not how you manifest, by the way. And I'm going to take you through the steps on how to manifest money in just a moment. But if that's what you do, then again, we need to move that block. We need to get you to where you're connected with your creativity and your ability to bring the money in that you want to bring in. So the second reason why you might not be able to do that just yet is because you don't have a proper business structure in place. When you have a job, obviously you have a salary, and sometimes you might get commissions and sometimes you get bonuses. So you're very limited in your ability to earn extra money over and above what you earn on a week-on-week basis. So if you want extra money, you have to go without something, or you have to budget, or you have to save for it, right? So there's going to take a lot of time for you to get that money together. So in order to make extra money, you either need a business on the side, and for business owners, you just need to be really good at your business, right? And have the proper monetization structure in place. So at any given moment, like within a day or two, you can whip up some kind of a campaign, you can get it out there, and bang, the money's coming in at the level that you want to get it into. Now, if it's not coming in like that, and you're doing those campaigns and the money's not coming in, then something's out of alignment and you don't have the right structure in place. And I'm going to invite you a little later on to work on that structure. So just to go over that again, the biggest reasons why you might not be in this place where you can just bring in the figure amount that you want. You might be able to bring in a small amount, but the bigger amounts that you want, you're not quite able to do that, is because there's a disconnection from your creative genius, and therefore the ideas aren't there, or the ability to execute those ideas, and the resourcefulness therefore isn't as good as it could be, or you don't have the right structure, and sometimes a combination of both of them. So how do we move forward? Like, what is the first step to move forward? And I'm going to post this in the comment section, so just bear with me. Let's do step one. Step one is always about prioritizing your goal. I think I've spelt that right. You have to prioritize. So let's talk about $1,000. If you want to get $1,000 coming in right now to do a coaching program, or to market your business, to do Facebook advertising, to do press releases, whatever it is that you're looking to do, then right, you got to have some kind of a campaign or a strategy to bring that in over and above the budget that you want. So let's make $1,000 the goal. You have to prioritize that goal. And this is what I see with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs and people who've been, spent too long in the New Age movement, which is just full of a lot of nonsense. And I came up from the New Age movement, so I'm not bashing it from the outside. I know myself that there's so many half-truths that people go out and they try and live their lives by, and nothing happens. And the reason why is because it's not a truth. So if you've come up from that, you're gonna say, oh, I want to manifest $1,000 so I can do this program, and you throw it out to the universe, and off you go, getting on with your day, right? And you don't think about it anymore, because somewhere you were taught the half-truth that in order to reach your goal, you have to let it go, which is true, because there's a whole lot of other stuff that comes first, right? So let's say you just did that. There is something that is going to, oh, I have just seen that I am about to lose my internet connection. Gosh, there's a lot of interference today. Just give me 2 seconds. So we're talking about prioritizing the goal. So the goal gets prioritized by having it in front of you, and this is really important. You have to have it in the front part of your mind, for the reason that this frontal lobe, this part of your brain, is the part that goes out and fetches and draws to you what it is that you're wanting to manifest. So if you just have an idea and it's in the back of your mind, oh yeah, I'd really like to do that coaching program, but it's not a priority, or I'd really like to do some Facebook advertising, or I'd really like to go on this trip, and it's in the back of your mind, it's not in the part of your mind that can create and manifest. It's got to come to the front of your mind. So one of the ways that you can do that, what do you think, would be to write your goals down and stick it up on your computer, or put it on your front door when you go out, or on your bedroom door, so it's constantly in the front of your mind. The other way that I prioritize it is when I'm looking at my budget and I'm looking at creating extra money and what have you, I will write down what gets paid when as a priority, and then I will demand from the universe that if this is my priority, extra has to come in so that I can then do that. So I'm actually doing an action step within my budgeting to make that happen. So I'm just going to put my notes up here. And then the other way that you prioritize it is sometimes you make a commitment. Sometimes you just have to put money down for the money to come towards you. And I'm in big favor of, and this is my next step, resourcefulness, knowing where it's going to come from or having an idea on how it's going to come in at that stage. And the other way of prioritizing it is to actually put yourself first and value what it is that you're going to get and the purpose for that money, the why you want that money, and that will help you manifest it a lot faster. So for example, I see a lot of people will say, I can't afford it, I don't have the money, I don't even know how I would get that money. And then I find that they've bought a new car, a new computer, a new pair of boots, they go away on a holiday, or they go and buy a course that helps them, do something. And I go, well, they did have the money, they just prioritized it differently, right? So that's a question of value. And I see this a lot. People value hard things. Lets me buy a computer that has more value, a car. I can get the money to manifest a car. But when it comes to manifesting money to market your business or to get the coaching that you need to help you succeed, that falls into the category of whether or not you think that you're worth investing in. So if you don't think you're worth investing in, here's the thing, then those signals are going to go out into the universe to tell your customers and your clients that you're not worth investing in. And I see this specifically with coaches or healers. They won't invest in themselves, yet they're expecting other people to invest in them and their services, and they don't have that energetic matrix to actually bring in the people that will value what they do and value it enough to pay you what you're worth. So if you're not doing that for yourself, if you're not investing in other people helping you and valuing your self-worth to have that work done over and above, something a little bit more tangible, then you're sending the wrong kind of signals out to the universe for your clients and customers. And that's just, I call that client karma. I've seen it happen in my life all the time. If I stop investing in myself and I don't invest when I know that this is the right thing for me to do, it always shows up in my business with a new client coming on board or somebody I do a discovery call with, and they mirror back to me what I just did to myself when I devalued myself. So you need to prioritize your value and your growth, because without you the business doesn't grow. So that's a really important thing to think about and to have in the front of your mind. So that's step number one. You've got to prioritize the goal, and sometimes that means you've got to prioritize you, right? Step number two is command resourcefulness. So remember when I said right at the beginning that if you don't know how to go out and make the money that you want, like say if I said to you, here's something you want to do, it's $1,000, and you don't know how to go out there and get that, there's a disconnection to your creativity. So I'm really big on commanding my spirit, my soul, my brain to align to my purpose, helping me fulfill my purpose, and part of that is to have the money and the resources to be able to fulfill it. So I will command, and sometimes I'll demand, that money comes forward. And the way I do that is I just put the command in. I say, I now command the way for that money to come forward to show itself to me. And I'm thinking about that all the time. And another affirmation that I have is I'm now in the process of attracting everything I need to know, do, and have in order to bring in $1,000 by this date. And I'll repeat that constantly throughout the day, and it begins to bring up my vibration, bring up my expectancy, and bring up my excitement that I can actually make it happen. Then what you need to do is you need to look at all of the ideas that start firing off in your brain. And you go, oh, I've got an idea, I should call so-and-so. She can help me. Oh, I've got an idea, I could do this. And don't just run off and follow the idea. Get all the ideas down, and then strategically look at the ones that you can implement really quickly to get you to your goal. So that's step number two, get resourceful. So, no, command resourcefulness. Get that resourcefulness happening, because as an entrepreneur, you are creating an idea and you're bringing it into being. So in order to do that, you have to be resourceful. You've got to turn your resourceful brain on and connect that with the divine resourcefulness within you. Step number 3 then is you have to keep attending to your mind, because self-doubt's going to come in, isn't it? And I know you've experienced that, because we all experience it. Oh, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Do I really deserve it? Or, oh, it's not going to work. Or, why is it going to work with me? So this internal dialogue is something that you have to really pay attention to, and you can't just be lazy about it. I have a power hour every morning where I'm attending to what's going on in my mind. And also at night, I do a double check-in. So I'm constantly on myself also throughout the day to negate negative ideas that come up by replacing them with at least 5 or 6 positive ones. So I start a positive roll. And that way you just keep your vibration up. Too many people go, oh, I'm not good enough. And they stay here rather than, oh, I've got that thought again that I'm not good enough. Well, how ridiculous is that? I am good enough. I'm more than good enough. How exciting is it that I now understand and know that I am good enough? And you just kind of pep talk your way back up into a positive state of being. Because without that expectancy and that deservedness, it's very difficult for that money to come in and be manifested. So that's step number 1, 2, 3. Attend to your mind. Get onto yourself as soon as you have it. Like, don't let those negative thoughts bring you down to here. As soon as it starts getting there, lift yourself up straight away. Do whatever you have to do to keep positive about, what it is that you're moving forward on. Step number 4 is you've got to have a structure, right? You just have to have a structure. It's like this. Imagine going to the ocean of abundance, and say you've got a glass. So that's a structure, right? You go in and you grab a little bit of abundance. Right? You can take this amount of abundance because your structure is this big. So imagine going with a big bucket. If you went with a bigger structure, you can go to the ocean of abundance, you can grab some more abundance out and you can hold it, right? So imagine going with a semi-trailer or that's got a big swimming pool on the end, and you can siphon out some more abundance. So the bigger and stronger your structure is, the more money or the more abundance that you are going to be able to attract to you. So in your business, that amounts to your monetization model. How many things are you selling, and do they all line up so it's structured in such a way that it's going to bring in abundance? Or are you over here doing this, you're over there doing that, you're over there doing that, and you've got no structure, right? It's all over the place, and that's going to have you working a lot harder for very little money. Or do you only have one thing? Are you only going to the ocean of abundance with one tiny weeny little cup? So paying attention to that structure, which is getting your business monetized properly, is really important if you want to start attracting the big money. And then the 5th step is you have to fully commit to it. If you're not committed to it on a daily basis, if you're just leaving it to a universe that you've got outside of yourself to do it for you, and it's going to, sometimes that's going to work, absolutely, because if it's on your soul's mission blueprint and you've just connected to that, bang, and it comes, like some things do manifest fast, don't they? But other things don't. Other things take time, and sometimes you don't even get to do what you want to do. So you have to pass up opportunities. And does that suck? That sucks, right? I know, because I've sat in rooms where I've really wanted to participate in an investment or really wanted to participate in an education or a coaching program, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't manifest the money in time, and it really sucked. I hated it. I did not like that feeling. So if you don't want to be in that place year after year, month after month, then you have to start prioritizing what you want, and it's got to be consistent in everything that you do. So to give you an example, if you want to buy some land, or you want to buy a big coaching program, or you want to raise some money so that you can do a big marketing campaign, and then all of a sudden you decide to go out and on a shopping spree and buy a whole lot of stuff for the kids, or go out and spend a little bit more money on a new couch or what have you, there isn't a consistency in the prioritization of your goal. You've got other priorities, which is fine, but you're sending that message out to the universe that other things are more of a priority. So rather than going back to that commanding the resourcefulness comes forward to say the money's coming, that $1,000 is coming first, and when that comes in, then I'll go on my shopping spree because I'll have more money, or then I'll go and spend some more money on the kids, or with the exception, obviously, sometimes you do have to spend money on kids with school and the medical supplies and what have you. I'm not talking about that level, right? But you go, this comes first, and then I'll do that. Then what begins to happen, not just in that moment that you are attracting that money, then the next time that you go to go through the whole process, you start showing how serious you are about abundance, so you begin to get some flow happening. Whereas if you just continue to be very undisciplined about how you spend your money and not prioritizing what comes first and what's more important, then it's really difficult. And I know that especially for mums generally tend to treat their businesses as a way for money to come in to spend on their kids, rather than a way for money to come in to reinvest in the business, so that there is abundance not only there for themselves but for their children as well. So it's like, so money gets siphoned out of the business too early, and it limps along and it never manages to grow. So you have to be fully committed to the financial goal that you're going after. So has anybody got any questions? Because right now I've got this situation happening where I've got this bang right in the middle of my screen, and I actually can't see your comments because I had to do a little bit of a thing with my Wi-Fi. And my mouse isn't working. But if you do have questions and you've got comments, or you want to ask something about those 5 steps again, let me know in the comment section, and I'll go back in afterwards in Facebook and answer them separately. And for those of you watching the replay again, for sure put some comments in there. It comes up in my messenger system, so I can go in and answer them. You haven't missed out just because you didn't come live. So I'm going to go over those steps once more. Number 1, prioritize the goal. Number 2, command resourcefulness. Number 3, attend to your mind. Number 4, put your structure in place. And number 5, make the commitment. Make a commitment sometimes means putting money down or putting things off before that gets done first, right? Very important, that commitment part. And be consistent. Like, commitment's also being consistent with your actions to that goal. So that's how you do it. That's how I do it each time. And every single time you want to add a 0 to the money. So today you're manifesting 100. Next week it might be 1,000. Now try doing the exact same formula with 10,000. It stretches your mind to become even more resourceful. And the worst thing you can do is to say, I don't know how to do it. Because the truth is, you have a creative genius data bank within you that knows how to do it, and all you need to do is connect to that to let the ideas to start come forward to get things moving for you. It's really that simple. And I was taught a really long time ago that there's no such thing as a shortage of money. And if you've got a pen or you've got your phone handy, I want you to write this down. There's no such thing as a shortage of money. Only a shortage of an idea. That's all there is. It's just a shortage of ideas on how to get the money. And you stop the supply of ideas on how to get the money when you say, oh, I can't afford that, and you go, out, not even the ballpark of you trying, right? You just go, yep, can't afford that. So you don't even raise to the level of energy to try and make it happen, right? Shuts blood supply down, shuts creativity down. And when you say that's too much for me, or I could never invest that much money in myself, or never spend that much money, or you can't even conceptually see that that kind of investment in yourself has value, again, you shut down that creativity. So what will happen with your finances is that you will always live within a really small framework of making money and making ends meet and struggling and possibly even going into debt. So to break out of that, you have to make a commitment, again, not to say those things. Don't say I can't afford it. Say, what ideas do I need so I can afford it? How do I need to think so I can afford it? How do I need to behave so I can afford it? Yeah? And then if you go, wow, that's not even in the ballpark of my reality, spending that much money on myself, stop that kind of thinking and go, well, how would I need to think if it was in the ballpark? Because why shouldn't you have what you want, right? Really important. And then make sure that you're building that structure. The all important thing is the structure. You've got to go to that ocean of abundance with a really formulated structure for your business, which is your monetization model, with all of the various different ways that you're structuring what you're selling. You can't just sell one thing. You've got to have an elevator model of upsells and downsells, so that people can come into your world and not just buy one thing. They can buy lots of things, and they can repeat buy from you, because you make much more money when you've got that kind of structure in place. So if you're interested and you're at that stage where you need some more structure in your monetization model, like how am I going to monetize my business? Excuse me. My throat's just been playing up for quite a while now, and it's just, oh boy, I'm doing everything and it's not shifting. So yes, I just caught myself. It's shifting now. So if you're ready to get really serious about building a structure that you can take to the ocean of abundance and have that abundant flow of income, so you can have a business obviously that's profitable, but it can support your lifestyle, and you can give to charity, and you can do all of those good things, I'm holding an online workshop and a couple of workshops around where I live here in Queensland and in Sydney as well. For 4 hours, where we're going to work on your structure. Like, I'm actually going to mentor you through putting all the pieces together. You only need to put $1 down to attend the 4 days, and at the end of the day, it's $67 if you got value out of it, right? And it's a small group of people with you and me mentoring, and I'm $600 an hour, so this is like a really good deal of getting your structure in place, getting your purpose aligned business structure in place. What is your life mission? I'm going to show you a process and walk you through it to find out what your life mission is. I'm going to help you with a manifestation technique that I use daily to help me increase my finances. I'm also going to show you a process. We'll walk you through a process, take you through a process to connect with some core soul expressions that are part of your purpose, that are where you'll get some expansion. It's where you'll start to get some flow happening. So I call it a Mission Mojo Doing and Discovery Day, because we're discovering and we're doing. It's not a presentation like this. There's going to be processes that you'll go through, and then we'll go backwards and forwards with each other. You'll ask questions. I'll mentor you. I'll give you some intuitive guidance. I'll get my cards out, and here they are here, and go, okay, cool. This is what I can tell you about what's going on for you over 4 hours. And I'm going to put the links below for you to go have a look, and you can see I'm doing 2 online next weekend, and then I'm doing some live ones happening as well too. So I want you to be fully monetized, so that you can have not only that sense that you're making a difference, your money's coming in from making a difference, being aligned to your purpose, but you've also got that sense of prosperity and abundance, that you're being rewarded for the good work that you do, so you can continue to impact more people's lives. And if that's of interest to you, just click the links below on the Mission Mojo Day that's probably going to suit you the best, and check out all the details and sign up and put your $1 down, and I'll be seeing you there. And I'm going to sign off now, go back in and have a look at some of the questions and answer them separately.